All right. Welcome back, episode, I don't know which one, of the Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Minnesota Twins. We are here in 2030, September 1st, roster expansion, and the Twins sit at 85 and 44. I don't know if this is our best record to this point. As you can see, we've had some pretty fantastic seasons. But this, considering all we've gone through this year, this has been the most impressive one by far. Our pitching staff is the best it's ever been, and our hitting has gone through a ton of injuries. We were down to like a lineup with like just Palencia, Mercedes, and like Lamar King and Correa at one point. Correa's actually played pretty much every game. Um, but it's been quite the ride to get here. Our lineup is finally almost there. DiMartini is on a rehab assignment right now. I'm going to keep them down there for a couple days and let him get back into the swing of things, and then I'm targeting probably this Cleveland series for him to come back. So after that, our team is going to be pretty much at full strength. Buxton, he'll be back in a couple weeks. I don't know what I'm going to do with him at that point, but um, I kind of like this team how it looks right now. Couple guys we called up. We called Owen Peno back up. He got a taste of the majors earlier this year. Did he? I think he made the major league roster start the season with some injuries and stuff, but he really wasn't any good. But I'm gonna give him another shot here. He'll kind of be playing some first base against righties with Jack Ruckert, who is also just up. Sent him back down, and he's back with the team. Ryder Helfrich also back up. I'm gonna play him. Probably every like I don't know once a week at catcher, and yeah, kind of trying to mix some guys in, see what we got for the playoffs. We do command our division by 10 games. Not as big of a lead as we've had in previous years, but once we clinch, I'm gonna definitely get these guys off their feet and make sure Palencia doesn't get hurt this year, and some of our other injury-prone guys like Manuel Rodriguez, who is fragile, but he's been pretty healthy the last couple of years, um, and Correa also. So although I'm benching Correa once a week anyway, so and he's been pretty healthy. So we will move forward and update you guys maybe at the end of the year, or if things get interesting, we can hop back in. But I guess we should actually update on these pitchers. So Brady Singer has been fantastic. An ERA under 2 in 7 starts. I had a feeling he'd be better when he came over. I kind of mentioned that, but I didn't think he'd be this good. I'll be completely honest. And Logan Webb has also been really solid. So, 119 ERA plus with us. The rest of the staff has been good. Noel has actually been our worst starter, if you want to go that far. But he's the backbone of the staff, and I whatever it is what it is. Um, and then if you're curious about the Zach Hauer thing, his ratings are still down, but he's been good out of the pen. He had these couple bad games recently, but besides that, he's been good. And then Estrada just got the call back up. The rest of the bullpen's been good. So, yeah, we'll hop back when something happens. And one more thing. Can I say this is absolutely criminal? We just had a doubleheader because of rain delay, and then we have another freaking doubleheader the next day. So 4 games in 2 days. We won the first 2 of the 4, so and then we wound up winning 3 of the 4, so pretty good. Um, and Rucker had a home run, his first career one. And then game 2, not as good, but I should mention Ben Hoffman, who I briefly touched on. He was hitting pretty well at one point, and then he tailed off, but yeah, he's been insane. 131 WRC plus. I'm trying to get him out there as much as possible at different spots. DH and first base, catching. Um, but yeah, pretty cool stuff here. Webpez is probably his worst start with us. A little disappointing, but he's still been okay. And the pen, whatever. So Cleveland is up. So DiMartini kind of struggled a little bit in his rehab assignment, but obviously I'm not worried about that. And I don't know who the roster casualty is going to be here. It's a matter if I like Ruckert or Peno better. Um, let's see. Peno's a little older. Ruckert has more positional versatility. Um, Steve Driver is going to stay because he's good. He's been really good for us. I want to keep 3 catchers just because I like having three guys to go to here. Although Helfrich's really been no good. He's a leader, though. It might come down to who has a better personality. Low. Okay, so I think I'm going to send down Peno for now. And then we will call up DiMartini, slot him into the lineup, and get on with the rest of the year. So we'll be back. All right, so just wanted to stop in and check in on one thing. So Carson DiMartini's come back, and wow, he's been insane. So in the last 5 games, he has 3 home run games, and a 2 home run game. And yeah, he's been absolutely insane since he's come back from this injury. This game just happened, and I was like, holy crap, there's no way. So one of the most impressive stretches I've seen by a player, and despite playing just 58 games, he's tied for third on WAR on my team as a first baseman, which is just insane. He doesn't have any health problems, so it should be business as usual. He shouldn't have been out so long. That freaking setback was ridiculous. It went from he was going to be back in a week, and then he wound up missing another 2 to 3 months. So that just sucked. But yeah, we're at 105 and 50, and our team's kind of run away with the division. I'm playing like a bunch of my bench guys like multiple times a week, and I'm just trying to get everyone some playing time and keep everyone healthy, hopefully, going into the playoffs. So the Tigers had a really good year, but they're going to finish in a distant second, and then we'll head into the playoffs and try to make our way back to the World Series. So we'll be back end of the regular season. Okay, so we're at the end of the regular season, and a couple notes at the end. So Brooks Lee wound up winning the batting title for Washington, and he had 7.3 WAR on the year. So insane year from him. A lot of that was defense because he was absolutely nuts at second base. And I mean, he was always a good second baseman or third baseman wherever I played him, but man, he was never this player. So good for Washington and snagging him up. He's gonna have a good career there, and I hope he does well. But Mike Wolf won the pitching triple crown. He won 18 games, struck out 268, and logged a 2.23 ERA. I don't know why I said logged, but I'm just reading the thing. 2.23 ERA for Mike Wolf. Insane season. And, he's turned into one of the best pitchers in baseball. Second round pick back in 2028. So, after a good year last year, it was even better this year. So, then Carlos Correa went down with a sprained wrist. He's going to be hurting for about 4 weeks, so that'll bring us through most of the playoffs, most likely. But we'll keep him in the lineup because he's important. Man, he wound up being about a league average hitter. So with his glove, I'm really cool with that at this point in his career. And he's not making a ton of money from this point out. I think he has 2 years left, maybe, and he's maybe 25 total. Yeah, so we got him for another year and then a team option. I assume I'd pick that up if he keeps playing like this. And then I guess we can go through and sort by WAR here, how everyone did. Adrian Palencia, huge year again. He's our stud. The heart that whatever, our best player. The heart of the engine, or whatever the hell the saying is. Carson DiMartini finished second in WAR, 190 WRC plus, and 3.6 WAR. 1,100 OPS in just 64 games. Crazy season from him. We talked about Correa. He was good. League average bat with a good glove. That's about what I expect out of my shortstops. So, Manuel Rodriguez was really solid. Another really good year for him. He's entering, I think, his last year of team control. So, I'll have to make a decision on him at some point. He doesn't want a long-term extension. I don't even know if I can give it to him. We have some outfielders, some corner guys I think we can plug in. So we'll see with him. Yasser Mercedes, a little disappointing, league average hitter. But, he's able to play center, okay. He's not absolutely horrible out there. And a good left fielder, too. So, maybe when Rodriguez is gone, we slide Mercedes over to left. Then I guess we can go to our catching duo, Lamar King and Ben Hoffman. Lamar King wound up having a stellar season, 110 WRC plus, 2.6 WAR in just 100 games, and a fantastic defensive catcher as well. Well, maybe not fantastic, but really good. Then Ben Hoffman, the other part of that. A 130 WRC plus, 14 bombs in just 63 games. And, he wasn't a horrible defensive catcher. My plan next year is probably to have, King be my starter and then Hoffman start every third game, or then mix in a DH and first base a little bit when needed. Derek Mitchell, disappointing year. He got hurt and played 113 games. A little bit better than a league average hitter, but, he provided pop and good outfield defense too. He's good and right. So yeah, that's him. Tommy White, he was really good. Filling in, played way more than I expected him to. 117 WRC plus, lefty crusher. And, he's definitely a valuable player on this team. Rolvera, the bat kind of fell apart at the end, but, still a pretty good player. Good defender at third, can play short. And, he's a good guy to have on the team. Cody Schreier, a good season from him, a little below league average with the bat, but plays everywhere on the field. I really asked him to play, pretty much every position. And he played well, besides left field, but I think it's because, he wasn't really experienced out there. Buxton wound up playing in about 53 games, and a league average hitter, a little bit above. But yeah, he's kind of fallen apart, and I don't know. I don't think he's got it in him anymore. I want to put him on a really long rehab assignment just because I didn't really want to call him up to the team and have him get hurt. So then Jesus Montez, he got off to pretty, he was a league average hitter at one point, and he fell apart at the end big time. So we'll have to reassess his future. He's not fully there yet, but, his ceiling isn't that high with the ground ball hitter. And I don't know. He's good to have on the team, but, not really the star maybe we thought we were getting. So I guess we can go to the pitching. Let me set this up to look nice. Let's sort by WAR. So Mike Wolf, we already talked about him. Sensational season. Ben Gismondi, really good year. Really solid number 2 to have in the rotation. 5.5 WAR, and just a stud. Aaron Nola, a step back, but not really according to FIP and a lot of the other metrics. He was just as good as he was last year and just as good as he's been. Probably just give a few too many hits. High BABIP, that makes sense. And yeah, he was worth the money. $43 million to dish out to this guy. I'm okay with that. Now he's 37 years old. He'll be 37 throughout the rest of next year, and he'll be 38 by the time his contract's up. So if he keeps pitching like that, I'm honestly cool with rolling with him until he retires. So then I guess we can go to Logan Webb, who wound up pitching really well for us. 3.38 ERA. It's a 1.27 ERA plus. And I don't know what they were doing in Chicago, but his walk rate was way high. It dropped down to a really good level. The strikeouts went down, but I don't really care because he got good results. And then Brady Singer, 13 starts for us and a 2.41 ERA. Led the league in lowest home run suppression. And he's a free agent after the year. I don't know what he wants for a contract. Pretty sizable deal, so probably won't give him that. But, he was good for us while he was here. Boosted the K rate and dropped the walk rate, all with us. So really good stuff from him. Noah Dean is the closer, really good. He's been good. He'll continue to be good, I assume. He's only 29, and we have him locked up on that extension for potentially 3 more years. So good stuff there. Liendo wound up pitching a lot better, as expected. The home run rate didn't really go down a ton, but and he walked a few more guys than usual. But he was good. Chase Petty, do we even need to talk about him? He's just so consistent every year, giving me 50 games, 70 innings. Good stuff from him. Luis Carrasco was really good for us. His first time being full time on the team, and he wound up playing really well. A minuscule inherited runs scored percentage. So a lot of these guys sit around 20% or so. He's at 5, so I don't know if he wasn't coming in the situations a ton, but good stuff there nonetheless. Elvis Novas, who was hurt for a little bit of the year, but wound up pitching really well while he was out there. I love this strikeout to walk ratio, and Um, yeah, he was a good pitcher. Carson Coleman was electric for us. I'd be surprised if he didn't get some consideration for reliever of the year. Um, awesome year, and same with John Lash, who went through in 82 innings for us, and he could find himself in the rotation next year at some point. I would say the stamina is a little low, but we could probably make it work. And then Zach Cowher, he's due for arbitration next year, $4 million estimate. I hate to see him go, but it might, his ratings as a starter like really bad now, and he's a three pitch guy, so he's not. None of them are really like out pitches, so he just has a limited ceiling at this point. It really sucks because he was one of the first pitchers that made it that we drafted. And, the 2027 season was unforgettable. Although he finished like fifth in rookie of the year somehow. But yeah, it's been a steady decline kind of since. Although he had a good year last year, I shouldn't say that, but he's probably just on his way out. But yeah, that's about it. There's some other guys, but kind of went over them, and they seldom pitched. Alvarado was really good. Alvarado Estrada was good, but he didn't make too many appearances afterwards after we sent him down. But all right, we'll head into the playoffs and get back to you guys. All right, so we are here at the playoffs, and this will be the rotation and bullpen we're rolling with for the division series against Detroit, and this will be our lineups. I can kind of look over them. They're standard stuff for the squad, and yeah, so we'll play Detroit, who finished 97-65. Our division rivals, who kind of got tough luck second place finish this year, led by guys like Max Clark, Curtis Mead, who's a really nice player, Andy Wellings. So looks like they finished second in runs scored to us. And there's Javier Baez still hanging around. Yeah, pretty good lineup here. Little intimidated, but you go to their pitching. Jackson Jobe is their ace. Gabe Miller, a solid number two. Spencer Howard had a really good year. And Joe Elvis. So they were third in runs against. This is a really good team, it looks like. So we'll throw Mike Wolf in game one, Nolan game two, Gismondi in game three, and Singer in game four if necessary. So let's get into it. Game one, we win 8-5. I feel like I'm always interrupted in these things by some dude coming off of waivers or something. All right, oops. Okay, so we win 8-5. Big game for Yasser Mercedes, Derek Mitchell, Buxton had a couple hits, and Mike Wolf, not his normal self, but Lash and Dean picked up the slack in the pen. So we'll go to game two, Jackson Jobe against Aaron Nola. And we lose 6-3. So they tie up the series. Looks like Jobe didn't even make it out of the first inning, but their pen came through. Chase Petty looks like he blew it. And Liendo gave up a run as well. So I'm actually going to go. This is not an overreaction. It's just probably what I should have done all season, going to John Lash in the seventh. So we'll go to game three, Gismondi on the mound. And we win 6-3, but that's not good. Yasser Mercedes out for a week with a dead arm, and he can't even play. So that's not good. We'll have to go to our bench, try to pick that up. So Steve Driver looks like he came in. I don't know if I went over him, but he had an awesome year as our backup outfielder. Came up, mid-season when we had all those injuries, and stayed with the team the whole year. So cool stuff there. But it looks like he came in and actually had a home run in the eighth inning. Wow, that's a crazy story. So it looks like we were only up one, and then he hit the 2-run bomb, and there you go. Gismondi had a good start. Coleman gave up a couple runs, but the rest of the pen was good. So that puts us in a tough spot with Mercedes out. I guess we can put Mitchell in right, and then Tyler White can DH. Or maybe I'll have Ben Hoffman DH. That actually might be a better decision. At least against righties. So I know he's pretty good against both. And then against lefties, we can do the same thing except have Tyler White start. Or Tommy White start. I'll have Ben Hoffman back him up. So, and I'm actually cool with having him pretty high up. We'll lead off Rodriguez and then move him up. Okay, so we'll go to game 4. Try to settle the series here in Detroit. Brady Singer on the mound, who had a really good year for us, and we win 2-0. And of course, Byron Buxton goes down with another injury, and he may have just played his last game in Minnesota, unfortunately. Tough way to go out, but he can still get a ring if we win. So Singer was sensational to lash to Leendo to Dean to close it out. So we take down Detroit. It might have been our hardest task yet, and then Gismondi looks like he went down for 4 weeks. Wow, so we're getting destroyed by injuries here. I think it puts him out for, it'll at least be, whatever. We don't have to put him on the playoff IL. We can just remove him from the roster for next series. So we'll remove him. We'll remove Buxton. And we can add some guys here. So, oh boy. Okay, so we kind of need an outfielder, but we don't need one that badly. I think I'm going to go with Jack Ruckert to replace him on the roster here. And in our pitching, a couple options here. I actually like a lot of these guys. So Luis Joseph wound up pitching the most for us and was pretty good. So I'll throw him on the roster. Although Carlos De Los Santos was good too. His ratings are electric, but Joseph's probably a safer bet. That's to have any guy fill in, Logan Webb's not bad. So we'll roll with this, and then with our hitters, hopefully Mercedes is back for the series. If not, we might have some problems. Looks like we'll be okay. Okay, so he's back, and we'll slide him into center, and nothing else really needs to change here. Boom, so we'll do that. All right, so looks like Hoffman had a hit in that game too, so that's good. All right, so we'll play Oakland here for a second consecutive year. We played them all the time in the playoffs. I think we played them in the ALDS last year, and then we played them in the ALCS the previous year, if I remember correctly. And Correa's been fine. Okay, cool. So game 1, we'll have Hagen Smith against Mike Wolf. Big pitching matchup here. And we win 3-2. And looks like it was quite a pitcher's duel. So Tommy White, couple hits and an RBI. Mike Wolf pitched well, lashed to Leendo to Dean. And Nola will pitch game 2 in Minnesota. We win 8-3. Teddy McGraw, wow, poor guy. His career is pretty much over, it looks like. Freaking 14 to 15 months. Goodness. Wow. So he wound up missing, what is that, 7 months already, and now he's going to miss another 14 to 15. That's unfortunate, but we win 8-3. Nola was okay. And then Coleman, he picked up the slack, and then Petty, Leendo, Estrada, and Dean closed it out. So we'll go to game 3. We're up 2-0. Singer on the mound, and we win 4-1. So we go up 3-0 in the series. Pretty good day from the offense. Nothing special, but we get the job done. Singer does a fine job, and then the bullpen's outstanding yet again. So we go for the sweep in Oakland. Logan Webb on the mound. And we take it 3-0. So the pitching was absolutely outstanding in that series. And looks like Emmanuel Rodriguez had a home run, and that was and Vera had a couple RBIs as well. So bottom of the order getting involved, and the top. So Webb was awesome. Leendo to Dean to close it out. So we go to the World Series. We return after that sucks. So Correa goes down, torn ankle ligament, out 4 months. They mentioned when they signed him, he has bad ankles, worst ankles they've ever seen, and we haven't seen it till now. But there you go. If anything could bring that down, it was that injury right there. So that had nothing to do with his elbow, so it's not really my fault. But stuff like that happens. And we'll have to replace him for this series. So. We actually have a pretty good in-house replacement here, so We're going to add Peno. Ravello. I think I'd rather have the glove. So we're going to go and start Vera at short. We'll have Rucker at third, I think, against righties. And then could have Vera at short and then Schreier at third against lefties. And that actually works out okay. And then we can put Ravello as a replacement at third, although he has no experience at third, so that sucks. So maybe we'll do this. We'll try to play those guys both late game if we need to, and then same thing here. Okay, so that injury really hurts, but I think we can bounce back from it. So we will go and try to take the World Series here. Mike Wolf will be on their mound for game 1. He'll be all ready. We should have a couple days off here. And Gismondi's out 2 weeks. That'll probably put him off the rest of the series, unfortunately. Yeah, there's no way the series lasts 2 weeks. So Buxton out 2 weeks, so nothing to do here with the roster. We'll play San Francisco. So Matt Brash is their ace. Really good pitcher. Signed him in the offseason to a big deal. Julio Urias. Looks like he's a little, not the pitcher he used to be. And Kyle Harrison, real life stud prospect, and Dalton Jeffries. I faced him against Cincinnati that one year. So, it sounded familiar. That sounded familiar. So, they have Acuna. Their offense isn't too impressive, but their pitching is. And a good bullpen, good starters, but not really much of an offense here. But we still got to play the game. So let's do it. We will start in Minnesota. Mike Wolf on the mound. And we win 9-4. DeMartini, huge game, 5 ribbies. Wolf was good enough to get it to Coleman, to Petty, to Estrada to finish it out, to win the blowout of some sorts in game 1. Looks like we got the Brash and Senga. Kodai Senga has made his way to San Francisco. Acuna had a big game for them, but nothing really else. So game 2, Nola on the mound. We win 6-2. DeMartini has 3 hits. Derek Mitchell 2 hits, 4 ribbies. Looks like he had a home run. Tommy White had a home run as well. And Nola pitches a good start. And Novas to Joseph was enough. So we take a 2-0 series lead on San Francisco. Heading to San Fran for game 3. Brady Singer on the mound. And he will be opposed by Julio Urias. And we look to go 3-0 here. So, game 3, we lose 3-1. And looks like the offense couldn't really get much going. Vera had our only ribby. And Singer was fine, and the bullpen was good, but no offense. That'll kill you. So, game 4 here, we're up 2-1. Logan Webb against his former team, San Francisco. And we lose 4-1, and they tie up the series 2 apiece. We have 1 hit in the game by Ben Hoffman, and that's not going to do it in any game there. So Webb, 3 runs in 6 innings. No, not horrible, but the offense, not much going there. Looks like our only ribby was by Lamar King Jr. So 2-2 in the series. Mike Wolf on the mound. And we win 5-1, so we're 1 game away from winning our 4th World Series in the save. Rodriguez looks like he had a 2-run home run, and Palencia also had a homer. Vera drove in our other run. And, not a ton of hits in this game, only 6 for the 5 runs, but looks like we did a lot of damage in the top of the 9th. That's when Rodriguez hit the home run, and Vera had an RBI single. Wolf has a good start, and Lash picks up the win in 2 2/3 scoreless relief innings. So we head back to Minnesota. Chance to take the World Series here. Aaron Nola on the mound against Kyle Harrison. So here we go. And we win the game. So 4-3 victory. And we win our 4th World Series. And, just what a season we had here. Overcoming all the injuries during the regular season. And we take it. And it looks like Carson DeMartini was the MVP of the series, batted .400 with 5 ribbies. And Nola, the backbone of our rotation, all of these World Series. He's been so good for us the entire save and well worth the $43 million. He went 3 runs. Petty had an excellent day in relief. To Leendo to Dean to close it out. And there you go. That's the 2030 season. We win the World Series, our 4th in 5 years. Let's check this out. So it's not official yet, but it will be in one day. And taking a minute to sim here. So there you go. World Series champs in 2030. 109-53. And we have a really good playoff and do it without Carlos Correa in the World Series. And what a season. Look at all these guys who wind up making an appearance at some point. Andres Munoz makes $15 million to do absolutely nothing. And, gets his first ring. And, wow, what a year. What a year. So, thank you for watching episode, this might be 19 at this point, of the Out of the Park Baseball 24 Twin Series. And, we'll come back next year in 2031 and try to do it again. Let's check out, our history in the sim so far. So, the only year we didn't make the playoffs was 2023. We finished 83-79, and every year since we made the playoffs. We've made the ALCS for 7 straight seasons, and made World Series appearances in 4 of them, and won all of the World Series we made it to. So, really cool stuff there. I can't believe we did it this year because I had my doubts. I definitely had my doubts at the beginning of the year. We were pretty mediocre for a while, and wow, what a year. So, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.